Good evening, Internet. This is really weird lighting because I have incandescent light, I have LED, and I have natural light out there. Yeah, so it's gonna be really weirdly lighted throughout the whole video. I'm sorry. I was not really aware of anything until I saw in a group I'm in that Channel Awesome is seriously having some issues right now, and seems to have been having these issues for a good period of time. No one really stepped up, talked about it or anything until last few months or whatever. There's at least a dozen, if not two, different people who were associated with Channel Awesome that collaborated together on essentially an exit/expose document about them and how poor their management was. Various things about Channel Awesome that just did not work with how it's set up and the evolution of how things progressed. And if you don't know who Channel Awesome is, it's primarily Doug Walker as Nostalgia Critic. Overall, in my opinion, a good channel to watch for just hearing a critic's review about it, for, well, really cheap parodies of it, of the movies they're critiquing, and a couple other things that are still interesting. Boy, the behind the scenes from reading this document are insane. And if you want to find out, I will link the document below. It pretty much summarizes every single complaint, from the most minuscule thing to, good lord, some of the people that worked at Channel Awesome were completely fucked over. And part of it's like, it seems to be managed like an indie lono film, like a student film, not like an actual production company. Like, no one at the top really wanted to be a manager, didn't really want to be a CEO. They didn't want the responsibilities that were really needed for it. Like, and it seems like if you were named Mike and you were in management, you were a douchebag. Because, Jesus, Mike Michaud and Mike Ellis were both heavily talked about with how poorly they treated employees and whatnot. And this is just a case of poor management, people who, like, you have an idea, you have a great idea, you want to get it done, but if you can't find that right management, or like if you grow too quickly, expand too fast, employ too many people, something's going to go wrong very quickly, especially if you don't update your practices as you get bigger and bigger. Because it seems like the entire time they were treating it, like I said, like an indie lono film, which is pretty much an indie film with low to no budget. And that's kind of how Channel Awesome works, and it goes from the website to their channel to their side channels, side websites, and everything, both successful and failed. There's even like, especially I think it was with Mike Michaud, was kind of very much in tune with sexual harassment. And it was either ignored or not clarified to him or to whoever it really pertained to talk to him about it, to get him pushed out or whatever. And he left or was fired for other legal reasons. I think one of the biggest complaints I saw was little to no pay, even with how it goes. And it's kind of like similar thing to multi-channel networks, like with Machinima and Screw Attack. There's always these grievances about pay and whatnot from multiple creators uploading their content to the main channel, and then they can also have videos featuring Machinima and on their own personal channels. It's kind of how Channel Awesome seems to be run. That's English. It's insane. Like, and even like when they were making the short films, I think the biggest part of it was the contracts, considering some of them didn't sign anything, so legally you technically don't have to pay them for the contract. So there's some issues with that, whether they were new to the industry or new to the environment of signing a contract and reading every detail to make sure you get paid, make sure you didn't get screwed over, make sure the company didn't get screwed over and they could make their revenue and whatnot. Pay attention to what's in your contract and make sure there's a contract before doing a project like this, because someone's going to get screwed over, and 9 times out of 10 it's the little guy. Even when Holly, their or HR person, left and went on, and she had to sign an exit policy thing that screwed her out of working in the industry for 3 years. I'm like, that just fucked up. And it was because they wouldn't give her a severance package. If not, I'm like, make sure you read your contracts, especially like if you were leaving and there's a severance kind of contract that if you don't, she would either get screwed of working in the industry or get screwed out of severance pay, which seems like it was worth it for the contract. Read up on your contracts, look at every detail, ask questions, especially when you first get hired on, when you leave. Talk to if you have a lawyer at hand, talk to them, whatnot. Personally, this just seemed like some of their grievances don't really make sense to the point where why it's such a big grievance. Like they complain that Doug's shows would reign priority over anyone else's time slots for videos, for whatever, because the most popular video series will get the best time slots because that's what's popular. So that part, I'm like, that's kind of a petty thing, being like, yeah, it'd be nice to get those better time slots, but if you're not the most popular thing on that website, channel, or whatever, then chances are you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Apparently I'm now Italian. This is something Channel Awesome needs to fix, because this is just screwed up management is fucking people over. And there's a long list of them that have been fucked over and over again. And a lot of hypocritical thinking from upper management to your typical grunt. From trying to shill out your personal Patreon or a Patreon and then get yelled at for e-begging when they in turn later on start shilling out a Patreon and previously have Indiegogo. There's some poor business practices that I don't know was in charge of it, but it's just sitting here like, what the actual hell is going on? You don't know what you're doing and you're screwing people over. If red flags start popping up, say something. Talk to them, because this could be extremely damaging to Channel Awesome. Because, like I said, I personally think they produce amazing content. I like Doug Walker's views on things. I like the first time views with Doug and Rob. I like Tamra's Never Seen or Tamra Just Saw. They make a product that's worth viewing, but the behind the scenes stuff is just garbage to a point where they need to fix and change something. They need to overhaul their management. They need to get people in there that can actually turn things around for them. Get better at treating employees with respect and whatnot, because it just seems like upper management was just complete douche nozzles to everything, to anything and everyone. And Rob didn't seem to want to be management and didn't really care. Doug was kind of just happy-go-lucky, seemingly. Didn't kind of like take care of things when he probably should have, or whatnot. Let me know what you guys think about this issue, because it's entertaining, and some of it are just like, some of the stuff in the document are personal grievances that anybody at any job would probably complain about, but whether it's a reason or not to leave is a different story, depending on how frequent everything is and everything. Because I've left jobs for petty bullshit before. I've quit jobs for petty bullshit, so it happens. But some of it's beyond petty. Some of it's legitimate reasons to leave a company. And I think management at Channel Awesome needs an overhaul. I still like their content. I still want to support them. I love what they're producing. They just need something behind the scenes to get a drastic change. Good Lord. Treat your employees with respect. Get contracts that don't screw you or the other party completely over, or don't screw people over at all. If they work on a task, freaking pay them. Like I said, it's kind of like an indie lono, especially like, you have to make your own costumes, you have to make your own costumes. I work at a haunted house, and sometimes the costumes they provide aren't as good as the ones people make, and some of the ones people make are brilliant. Some of the stuff makes sense, some of it doesn't. Read the document for yourself. Channel Awesome, Doug, Rob, Tamra, whoever's in charge right now, because it seems like the mics are gone for the most part, and you need new management. You need something to fix this issue before your channel dies off from the controversy, because that is a possibility. from being one of the top channels for people to watch to digging yourself a massive hole. You got a lot of climbing to do. Good luck. Get new management. I hope to see you guys continue producing, but it doesn't look like a possibility if these issues keep occurring. So let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, there's the document and whatnot, and just there's some people I will link below that also talked a little bit better on the subject, such as Gamer from Mars. But let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Good luck, Channel Awesome, and sorry for all the people you screwed over.